So now that you have installed Webots and Python, and hopefully everything is working fine, before we go any further, it might be a good idea for you to open the different demos and play a bit with them so that you can get a feel of the functionalities of this particular software. So once you open Webots, you might find like a window with the demos. Otherwise, you can go to Help, and then you can go to Webots Guided Tour. And here you will find this window, which you can open either this way or just closing and opening the program is very likely going to appear by default. So now we are going to see some of the different demos. You will see that there are like a lot of them, and you will very often find like some kind of description here. Like in this case, it's a robot which is called Muse, and you can see it's like a mobile robot which is carrying some sort of package, and it says that it's an uneven terrain demo using an elevation grid to model terrain and a clear path moves. You can also see here on the bottom that in the case of this demo, you can select the 3D screen and then press A to put the autopilot mode, or press P to select a new position for the robot. So as you can see, when using robots, like not only the robots, do their own, but you can also interact with them. We will cover this later, but with the central wheel, you can zoom in, zoom out with the right click. You can pan in, pan out, and you can see like this kind of like demonstration. So let's go for the second one, which is a Willow Garage Pier 2. So this is actually a bit more interesting to us. It's some sort of robot with 2 arms, and it's getting an object. It is rotating, and then it's going to place the object in the other table. So you can see this kind of like a interesting, like sort of like mobile robots. You can simulate this kind of environments in Webots. This is one of the classic Boston Dynamic robots, which, if you remember, during the first lecture, I showed a video of Boston Dynamics where you can see some of the robots like this one. They are like quite complex robots that move around, and they're very dynamic. Something interesting here is that you can see here and here 2 cameras. So this robot has 2 cameras here in the front, and you can see the output from the cameras here. And that's like a quite interesting, like, because you can add different cameras to get the output and play with them. So this is, for example, it's a Mavic 2 Pro, which maybe some of you by the name know that it is going to be a drone like this one of the classic drones. And you can see it has a camera, and it's in some sort of environment. And here we can play a bit with it. Like you can see if I press up, the robot is going to move forward, down, left, right. So for example, let's click on the 3D screen like now, and I'm pressing up, and you can see how the robot is moving forward. And then if I press shift, it's going to go up. And yeah, you can see how we can interact with the robot. It's a bit like a video game. This one, for example, is like some sort of humanoid. I'm going to go to city, for example. So this one, for example, is a car in a city, like a self-driving car, going around and avoiding obstacles. As you can see, there are some kind of obstacles, so you can do these kind of things. I'm going to go to this one, which is NAO room. So this one is like another type of robot, which is interesting because if you read the different information here, we can move the robot up and down, and then very interesting, we can also get information like from the different sensors. So the robot has 2 cameras, but it also has like a bunch of sensors around. Like we can print the gyro information, for example. So for example, I'm going to press G, and it's giving you all the gyro information. And now we are going to go, I didn't want to click this, like you can see many different devices that you can do, like accelerometers, different cameras, different displays, motors, propellers. But I'm going to go to the one which is probably more interesting to us. So it's URE, which is from the brand Universal Robot. And you will see that in this environment, there are going to be 3 different robots. Let's see if it loads. Yeah, so there are 3 different robots which are from the brand Universal Robot. One of them is the UR3, and then there is the UR5, and then there is the UR7, and there are some cans going around, and you can see that the robots grab them and they are putting them back on this kind of belt with boxes. So yeah, you can see that through all these demos, this software can do very different types of robots. Universal, like industrial robots like this one, which is what interests us the most. It can also do like self-driving cars. It can also do drones, humanoid robots, like robots like that moves on 4 legs and things like that. So I suggest for the next 5 or 10 minutes, you yourself go through different robots, playing with them, seeing what they do, what they are, what kind of output you get, and try to get a feel of the software.